You're listening to Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marci Persky. In this installment, it's spring, and Marci has ordered a very special tool. She's also become a wildlife trapping expert, plus the food allergy you inconveniently forgot.
I've been doing housework and work all day.
Housework?
Yeah.
You've been doing housework? What are you having? Like, is the Pope coming? What's going on?
Actually, I bought a new mop and bucket right before monsoon season because that's how my brain works.
You know, the mop has to be wet. I don't know if you know that.
I had to figure out how to put it together first. Are you kidding me?
Wait, you bought a
That
mop
could be months.
that requires assembly? You bought a mop that requires like some kind of attachment? What?
Yeah, it's I had to order it. It was easier to just order it online. I ordered this fancy mop and bucket. It's something called a spin mop, which I thought sounded kind of fun to torture animals with. It spins while you mop. I don't know. But it's coming today and I'm all excited.
Is there any part of you that says, my life has come to this, I'm excited about a spin mop? Or is it just me that thinks stuff like that?
I love my life. And if you could see these floors right now, you'd be excited about a spin mop too.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that mopping my floors will start the monsoon so we can get out of drought. And so Eve can fill the little dollar store swimming pool that I bought for her without Frankie yelling at her about wasting water.
What does she do with the dollar store swimming pool? Does she just lie in
Sits
it?
in it. Yeah.
Okay.
She swims.
Yeah.
I'll have to send you pictures.
I would love pictures. Well, you have to have a spring ritual. We have a spring ritual. The spousal unit's been throwing stuff into the garden like crazy. All the stuff that we bring inside all year. And by this time of year, we're like going crazy from cleaning up dead leaves. And you'd rather almost that it died than have it in your house one more day. People come and they say, what a lovely green room you have. And you think, I don't like indoor plants. Really, if it
We have
comes
one.
to that. Yeah, I don't like them.
That big tree.
Because the minute you have an indoor plant, you have to start worrying about it. Does it have aphids? Does it have scale? Is it dropping dangerous leaves that the pets could eat? A lot of things that most people find relaxing, plants, indoor fountains, I just find annoying. I don't know why.
Oh, indoor fountains make me just have to pee all the time.
Yeah,
yes.
they make me call
Indoor
the plumber.
fountains, no. But yes, so it's kind of spring cleaning here today, even though we don't know when spring will actually start.
I was so hopeful that it would be spring that I actually flipped the storm windows up, and then I had to put them all down again.
We're whacking the big tall grasses, they're now brown.
What about the goats? The goats were supposed to take care of those.
Well, they do out in the back. I mean, we have 5 acres. So the other 4 acres, it's time to weed whack it all down. So
don't you have those movable pens? In Oakland, they had goats that they brought from place to place to take down the high grass.
These are real ranch goats. They don't get to go anywhere that's urban. Or
what urban? You're not urban. What do you mean urban? Like close to your house is urban? They live on your porch, for Pete's sakes.
I know.
You just don't want to move them around, that's all.
That's right.
But you could.
It's a big asshole.
You could.
Rattlesnakes.
Well, you could get a pole with
so,
like those clothesline things.
Pole dance?
No. You just put the goats, tie them to like a tetherball pole, move the pole all the time.
Yeah, my goats would be really happy with that. I'll tell them Aunt Turi suggested.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of good suggestions like that. Just ask my kids.
Yeah.
Mom!
I'm picturing your kids tethered out on poles.
I've thought of it.
Leaves.
Believe me, I've thought of it.
Saturday, I gave my first public speech on cat rescuing.
What?
Well, they had a volunteer fire. You're going to love this. This is so small town. There was a volunteer fire department open house, and they invited me to come as a representative of the Art Cat Sanctuary. Eve made all this artsy stuff, and I made a table, and I thought I just had to sit in this, chair at this table and beg for money and that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, someone said, "Okay, it's time for you to make a speech."
What? Oh,
Yeah. So, so I improved my way through a speech about the difference between sanctuaries and shelters and why we really, really, really need your money.
did it work?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, a lot of people came over and wanted me to catch their feral cats, and I'm like, "You out of your mind?" No,
No, for
no.
$1,000. Tell them you will for
Yeah,
$1,000.
for $1,000.
What's the
Yeah, it
matter with
was.
you? You have a pricing problem here. That's your problem.
I do have a pricing problem, and I do have a fear of getting attacked by feral cats problem. I'll go take their kittens. No
Well, you
ferals.
just have to put them in a cage, and then you catch and neuter or spay and release them.
Hmm.
That's all.
Simple. Now
Yes,
that's what
simple.
that's what the places with the big money do.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're more about grabbing up the moms and the babies before the
but you
coyotes eat
just
them
said you
kind of thing.
won't grab up the moms. That's what you just said.
No, I will.
Oh, you will.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh yeah. We'll never separate a mom with the babies until they're weaned.
so you
And then
don't.
the moms get spayed and
Wait,
we
wait.
throw them back out.
You just. Oh, so it's the same darn thing.
Well, no, because we don't trap them. We,
You just.
I don't know. Throw a laundry basket over the top.
That's trapping. If someone threw a laundry basket over the top of you, that would be trapping.
While I was nursing my six
Yes,
kids.
that's right. You're nursing 6 kids. Somebody
Wouldn't that be a
throws.
nightmare?
Oh, it's bad enough nursing 6 kids.
It's just like a horror movie that I don't need to think about, especially at this age. I'm done with all of that. I hope.
I'm trying to think what all of the parts of this that are awful in various ways.
Yeah, I think
I
you can't even start.
I didn't mind nursing. I liked it.
I didn't like it.
I liked it because it gave me an excuse for shopping on the computer.
Okay.
I was like, no,
That's
I had to buy this. I was nursing the baby, and I just was looking at the computer while I was nursing the baby, and I saw these matching clogs and outfits, and so I got them. I don't know why. I'll never wear them again, but I got them. They came all the way from Sweden, so don't give me a hard time about it. I can't return them.
Sweden. Sweden. Yeah, no, it was pretty much a nonstop nightmare for me until I could get them all off. Sorry.
I just remember people saying, Where'd you get those cute fill in the blank? And I'd say, nursing. They'd be
Nursing.
like, what? This is a maternity shoe? I'm like, no, I just bought it because I was nursing. Even if you didn't nurse your kids, you understand this. Like you're anchored to the spot. You have to do something. You can't read because if you read on top of your kid's head. That's the worst part. The worst part of nursing is you can't really read and nurse. And I'm sure now both of our podcast listeners will send us notes saying, yes, you can. I found a pulley system where I could trap the book in a plastic box. And no, they sell you so many gizmos when you're a new mother and so many gizmos when you're pregnant. And
now I'm thinking about a pulley system that I can invent from the ceiling that you can lower the baby down with the pulleys and then tether it to your desk. And be able to read or, do whatever you want. And then when the baby's done, you just pull it back up to the ceiling.
The baby or the book?
The baby.
Oh, I was going to say.
Not the book. Books are important. Come on.
I thought you were going to say the book, and I was very worried about what that would do to the book. I was nervous. But when you said, the baby, no problem.
Books don't poop and scream.
No,
why would you want to tether them?
The Berkeley ladies were really big on attachment parenting.
I definitely had issues with those moms.
I want to see what happens when these attachment kids get older. Like I want to hear from the kids who were nursed until they were 6. What do they make of that as 22-year-olds?
What do they call those helicopter moms?
No, you
that are always hovering.
No, that's a different thing. That's if you're calling the teacher every 5 minutes going, why an A minus? Why not an A?
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing to me.
Are you grading on a curve? What can I do to improve Jason's score? Do you remember when a certain politician got in trouble for saying, what was she supposed to do? Stay home and bake cookies?
Yes.
I've decided that I like staying home and baking cookies just in general. But I brought for Mother's Day, I brought my mom these cookies that she made. She started talking about these other cookies that her mother allegedly made, which I've never seen, heard, or tasted. And now I'm thinking, what? What? There's a lost cookie. This is a whole generation, 2 generations of lost cookies. This is a tragedy. And I don't, my mother's a little befogged, so I can't even figure out what kind of cookie this is that I'm supposed to be missing.
You
It's,
just slip a bunch of Oreos on a plate and say, "You're there, Mom."
I was, I wonder why I didn't think of that. I,
See?
but I feel deprived. Like there is some mystery cookie now. It's like before there was YouTube and Spotify, there would be songs that you vaguely remembered that you couldn't sing well enough that anyone else could help you remember it.
Yep.
And so, or you didn't remember the words, you just remembered a piece of it. And you would go around for years thinking, was that a real song or did I just imagine it? But because of the internet, you can put a little piece of a lyric and then song or YouTube, then it shows up.
Right.
But there's nothing like that with cookies.
No, there isn't.
I kind of remember that it was square and she would put like this cookie cutter in that looked like a deck of cards. And I'm like, what? Deck of cards?
Huh?
What? I've never seen cookies like this in my life. I have no idea. But now it's going to be like one of those songs that I'm going to look everywhere until I find this cookie.
Deck of cards cookie.
Deck of cards cookie. I mean,
My mom, my mom wasn't a baker. My mom had one thing that she would bake for us, and we called them vomitous brownies because you would literally like eat them until you want to vomit.
Oh, I thought they were so bad that you couldn't even
Well,
eat.
they weren't really attractive looking, but they tasted really good. And that was the only thing my mom ever baked. And like once every maybe 15 years, I get the urge to bake these. And it never tastes like wow, man, I made them ever, ever, ever.
They
So
don't
I'm
taste
not
right.
much of a baker either.
Well, neither
And
was my mother, but she had this one cookie that she could make. So if we were required to bring cookies somewhere, this was the cookie that she could make. And
yep,
I think that it worked out pretty well for her. She all she
and those
needed
were
was one,
yep,
right?
those were my mom's vomitous brownies
Right. And then
back in the day when we had bake sales.
oh, bake sales. Yeah, those are gone now.
Yep.
Everybody's allergic to everything. No bake sales. Nope.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? How did everybody all of a sudden get allergic to everything? I want to know what caused that.
I
I don't
don't,
remember anybody dying from eating nuts when I was a kid,
but they
for
do now.
example. Right and left, everybody's passing out, dying, and getting all kinds of nut diseases, and I just don't get it.
And on top of that, I still remember when I first moved to San Francisco, there was a story in the paper about some guy on a road trip with his buddy who knew perfectly well he was allergic to peanuts and would die. And either they were just high or he wasn't paying attention. And he ate like this handful of peanut M&Ms and died. And I'm thinking, look, we're all dancing around for other people's allergies. At least remember your own.
I think he was high and he needed some
He's
M&Ms. Sorry.
I don't care if it kills me.
Those are some pretty severe munchies.
His friend said he thinks he just forgot. His friend said in the paper, I think he just forgot and
That's
absentmindedly.
really high.
I mean, that's like if someone handed me a thing and said, yeah, I'm eating rat poison, have some. I would not do that.
That's
'Cause
some good weed. That's all I have to say.
if something's bad for you, like will kill you, you should probably believe it and avoid it. I guess I'm glad that we all know about these allergies because they've just sort of removed these foods from certain settings. Like there was a certain airline that was famous for its peanuts. That was their
Yep.
whole branding thing. And then if somebody were getting on the plane who had a peanut allergy, they would notify the crew and it'd be no peanuts for anyone. And
Yeah, I
that,
would do that just to do that. I have a whole list. I have a whole list of allergies, but they're all fake because I'm not really allergic to any foods. There's just the ones I don't like, I'm allergic to. And I would just deprive everyone on the plane of peanuts just to like be that person, I think.
See, and here I was formulating this theory that that person felt bad. Maybe the
No,
person didn't just like, maybe the person just didn't like traveling from Las Vegas to Denver in a plane that smelled like Skippy.
exactly. If that person was like in the little tiny restroom going ta-da, that would be me.
That would be you. If you've made it this far, chances are you've been enjoying Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast, in which case you might also like my book, She Said What, A Life on the Air. You can find that at your neighborhood independent bookstore or on Amazon. Marci and I really appreciate your good reviews wherever you care to leave them. Your kind words help the podcast grow. Thanks.